A huge shout out to the overthinkers. An overthinker. He watches the show. To the overthinkers. Shout out my friend too. Thank you, overthinkers.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando kuphela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamelo kuqhubeka ngokuqhubeka buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini overthink siyachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Are coach shorty as overthinking, say overachiever. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is Mokwena. I am your host, and this is a place where we love South African football, we love African football, and every now and then we go overseas. But on days like these, after the weekend that we had, where Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns were in action, I am here for the normal review show where I'm going to hear from you guys how you feel about whatever's been happening. This is a very interactive show. So it's interactive in the sense that you can jump in and actually talk to me while I'm here live. So if you're watching on YouTube and you're wondering, how do you add your voice, man? Every day, how do I join in? You follow me on TikTok and you join me when I'm live now on TikTok. Bottom of the screen, there's a button that says multi-guest. Click on it, I let you in, and we have a conversation about whatever it is that is our topic. That is our topic for the day, for that day. So that is what we're going to be doing today. Welcome for those who are new. Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. we will be here unless Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Banyana, or Bafana are in action. Then you'll probably find us sitting right here having a watch along where you can do a similar thing and jump in and join me on the analysis of whatever game it is that we are watching. Guys, before I go too far, look at this. Look at what the members of the Overthinking Football Show gave us, guys. Look at this. How amazing is this community and everything here? Hey, guys, my members, man, thank you so much. Those are the people that contribute towards the show. We're in a WhatsApp group. In the WhatsApp group is where we speak about football literally 24/7. Anytime in the day, you can send a message and they're there. They got together and surprised me. I didn't know, but here we go. But I don't know why you put Sundowns on my... But it's fine. It's okay. Thank you to everybody that contributed towards this, guys. It's very beautiful. I never would have thought when I had lost my job and started all of this full-time that we'd be here and that I'd have really amazing people that care so much about me and this platform as well, guys. It's been incredible. Okay, I don't want to be emotional, and I don't want to be emotional later on. We're going to be looking at the three games that happened over the weekend. We're going to start off with Stade d'Abidjan, who played a 1-1 draw with Orlando Pirates in the Champions League and in Ivory Coast. And then, of course, you have Mamelodi Sundowns, which beat Raja Casablanca 1-0 in their game at Loftus. And then you have a game that happened in Mambela, the Kaizer Chiefs had to come back from behind and draw 1-1 with the TS Galaxy. So we're going to start with Orlando Pirates. 1-1 draw with Stade d'Abidjan. Goals there coming from Mahopa, penalty in the 45th minute, 45 plus 3. Meite then came back in the 53rd minute. There were 10 shots from Stade d'Abidjan with 2 on target, 44% possession with 375 passes, whereas the Orlando Pirates had 15 shots, 5 on target, 56% of the possession, and 500 passes completed for them to leave with the 1-1 draw. So, let me open up. Pirates fans, ke kopa le kene ba Pirates le kene. Ribueka team ya lona taking part there in the CAF Champions League. There are, if I'm not mistaken, no, it's Mamelodi Sundowns, that's number 1. Let me see who's here for Orlando Pirates. Please feel free to request. We're going to start off with feel free to request. Let me just get the images right. We're going to start off with Orlando Pirates playing 1-1 with Stade d'Abidjan. Then we're going to go into Sundowns. Then we're going to end off with Chiefs. In the last 30 or so minutes, I'm going to open it up and everybody will be able to jump in. Give me a minute or two of what you are thinking about whatever you want to speak about, whichever team you want to speak about. Come in, give me your thoughts. I may or may not ask you a question, and then we'll just close off the show that way. So let's see who's here and who's available and who can speak about the Orlando Pirates, while I also just quickly get my timer up, man. Hey, Yaletseba, man. Halerata. Okay, there we go. Okay, here we go. Bongs, welcome to the show, man.
Evening, OT.
Bongs, play like a Pirates, man. Started Abidjan, they played in the Ivory Coast, 1-1 draw. How did you feel about the Pirates game and what did you see?
For me, Kilabua last time, they had to take their chances. But enough for it, they did have a chance on a one-on-one where Mukhopa Alamisa a chance. I feel like Pirates still has a lot of work to do, especially because Havana second team at a Tucson first team, because first team has a lot of work to do.
Please remember to mute when you come in. Bongs, how did you feel about the Pirates coming into this game or in the game? Because in the first half, Pirates was all over. Started Abidjan, they had all of the possession, never dalakabona. Started Abidjan, Nesa attacking, Nesa Tibuku defender. But Pirates just couldn't finish off their food. How do you feel about that? And does Pirates have lessons to learn? Go CAF, Kaubane, second half, things di chinchil.
Yeah, they do have lessons to learn because Buffy don't get the chances of on the first half. It looked like something was wrong. Every time have a trial shooter, every short passes.
Yeah. We look at Jwang Jose Tabayen. How does he fix it? Because Cafe is unforgiving sometimes.
Since Banaledi, another 3 games came inside Cafe in January, maybe Outanta Bolester squad can maybe two or three players.
2 or 3 players. Mara 2 or 3 is it gonna be enough? Pela Dadiwa, back to back, Joano.
On the squad, it's not like Hana squad, it's just that as a 70 trial who this one is a party, a second team. Even though it's a help.
And then Orenkabana, Katabaya Tito Kabane Tito Hayo, Umfukeng has been coming into the number 10. Do you think he's ready? Do you think he's performing? How do you feel about him there? How do you feel about Fran Triabona?
For the number 10 position, I think Mufukeng was struggling. It's not positioned why it's in you. They need to really find someone who can replace Tito then. They can't always depend on Tito. Tito is not the only one because they are like who get the injury over the family problems and stuff. So out sometimes. They have to find a plan. They have to make a plan. They find someone to try and help in that position.
Is it time for Mabasa to come in?
Yes, Mabasa maybe cannot again step up. Someone needs to step up.
Okay, Bongs. Let me bring in Uveli. Hey, nangenza man. Senkoke nama logo wenu la. Tell me, Veli. We want to game. Okay. Skip asame man. Oh. Heban. Belile, uthi ngeke bani ubone njani game yenu man eAfrica.
Nomntaka ngibingelele bafethu eGlass athi nokukhuluma nazi kulamalanga phela sesisemakhaya sigada umzila so idatha yasifika asafana nasegoli iWi-Fi sele yodwa le ihlala ingane nje manje kodwa kuzolunga bafu
nisinda ke DS ngale
hayi nje sekuyiyo vele sesinceda kodwa kudatha kunzima man hey
ubukela abo generations ngiyakubona anyway uthini
No man, you see sometimes when they said there's generations to generations, and I mean I felt as if like this was a pirate season to destabilize young and in terms of like Sundowns dominance, especially kakhulukazi when it comes to Betway and then also make it CAF. Noma CAF ngiyishaye kangako, but I just feel that Pirates is one of those. It's like this other political party, they just like to self-sabotage themselves unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because Moloko sicela umute mntaka
Hey
baba
guys, call us mute lapho. Okay.
Yeah, Sabo. Yeah, but self-sabotage because currently now, you look at the game, Ahly, usale ngubuyile, only ajime for a week. And then suddenly you play away against swahla. A grouping. And then Utito no sale ngabeko. And then without even reason, there's no reasons that are stated why bangeko lapayana. They can say how Dabazuti, I cannot speak about his health, no. If the Pirates players are injured, we know how they release statements of players who are injured. We get informed.
Yeah.
So, but this one, it's like a certain Komasaya who just turn silent. You should find any part, but it's fine. So,
Mara nangitshela ukuthi lo baba bekaniphethe rest in peace akekho. So kenzakalani inkinga ibuyaphi?
Baf, angeke ngazi manje ukuthi uzobe mhlambe ibuya sekukhona mhlambe abanye abazifihlile ngale singabazi mhlawumbe abaqashiwe ngoba nginokubona namalanga nabo comrade umcebo bakhona lapha yana, so maybe they are preaching revolutionary struggles in terms of football philosophy. I don't know uyangangithola, but yeah, I mean, I just feel that the game yesterday, that game should have been won. I've always criticized the Pirates by playing with 9 men against any team that they've played for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean when I say nine men, because we are -1. So, and as much as we would love players like Awunkota, we are youngsters, but they are still not yet up there. It's their first season. You cannot expect them to perform miracles to go Champions League. While you still got Abu Saleng, whom you don't even know what's the reason for them from being absent. And also in terms of our coach rate, to give other players a game time while things are still going good, because I just feel sorry for Ukim Wood. He's one of those unlucky players who's always been given 5 or 10 minutes, and when we are losing or we're under pressure or drawing, yes, they've been given like a game time whereby like the team is leading, express yourself a lot, and then get the feeling. So uzogcina hambile without even getting the feeling you're good team, and we'll treat him as if like no failure, but he was never like given a chance, because our coach hasn't created that much pool. You will have the players who can come and change the game from the bench. You look at Saturday, the only players that could rely on that could come on is Dlamini, probably maybe Nayo Babas. Other ones, they can come in and change the game. So, but yeah, it's one of those things, self-sabotage. If there is a season whereby Pirate was supposed to disrupt at least this domination, Yamasanda one, this was the one. But it seems like they're starting to let it slide a bit, and kancane iyasiphunyuka le nto le.
Mina ngifuna ukubuza ngoba undlule kuyo fast. Lapha phambili, are you worried about the scoring of the Pirates? Ngoba it's been a while, or not a while, mara ansakore ama open play goals like that. Ama move, opening up and making space for people and scoring. How do you feel about Pirates' attack ngales khathi now?
It's bad because I mean angeke ngisuke on my thinking yokuthi I don't know ukuthi uMakhubu udlala kanjani professional soccer. I mean I know I'm not sold, guys. I don't have a problem now personally, but in terms of playing for a big team like Pirates and relied on him to win the league and to win the CAF Champions League, cha. Sibangasikhohlisa abomakhelwane bathi uMakhopa uyapressa wenzani as good as this, but bona banolokhunjana banoshalulile who's deadly there. Even Noranga is even sometimes bengconywana because he stays in the box and scored. We had Umabasa scoring 16 goals last season. As much as you can criticize Babas who's staying in the box, wenzani akapress, right, but at least he's doing whatever that the striker needs to do than a person who's going to be all around the field. Sometimes you go left, and you square, but you square the ball, or square on the 18, or no, it doesn't work like that. We are just playing with 9 men, and we're just playing at the hands of our opponents now and then. We're just giving them games unnecessarily. So,
Okay.
And
But wait, let me. Yeah.
congratulations to Ronwen William. Awine icup vele alifanele alispecialize kulo, which is the goalkeeper of the season. Not less.
Marabamfaka team.
No, nala season sakubona musa ukuthi ama-player amanye aba-nominator for football of the season adlale only 40% of the games. It's nothing new there, sikujwayele. So angeke
Okay. I know. It's Bobo. Una question mona.
ngiyamazi uzola kuqala loyo babayeni bafethu
Ay man, ngeke ubobo babo.
idathi nzima la emakhaya.
Angahambi.
Kwani question lapha ema-commentini bobo bathi ayubobo mncithi or ayubobo Caruso manje. So far uCaruso egameni. But asikho lapha masikengeni lapho bobo. Welcome. Uyibone njani game ye-Pirates ne-Stade Abidjan?
Hey, my leader, ngiyabonga Pramithi ngibulise everyone ku-panel bonke nabantu abahlezi kuma comment. Yazi ngifuna ukucorrecta le ndaba ukuthi abomakhelwane bayabahleka kodwa bathi uyapressa. But kumele sithini angeke thina bese siba against umakhupa. We like the pressing because is the way coach afuna dlale ngakhona yabona. Maye uvelile akayifuni le pressing ufuna. But Pravi, it's an international player umakhupa. So if when ungam protect Tina sizoba yini. I mean, I like the way pressa ngakhona vele ngiyayithanda lento because it gives other players indlela yokudlala, especially if Tito is there. The pressing, I like the pressing, especially uma ngabe opponent builder at the back. Yes, I understand the primary job Yagamakhupa is to score goals. So if he's not scoring, yes, guys, I understand ukuthi nizoba ne problem. But overall, guys, it's a khupaltino bafowethu siyamthanda umakhupa thina.
Mina ngifuna ukubuza ukuthi is coach Rivero using him correctly? Ngoba there's a way Bruce uses him lapha ku national team. Do you think that he's effective in the way that he's being used ku Pirates?
I don't think so because it depends opponent ukuthi we approach kanjani. Umakhupa if kune team efana ne Sundowns ifuna builder at the back, definitely sure you can use Umakhupa over Umabaso because you don't want to allow the opponent to build at the back. But some of the teams, they are not good to build up. You can use Umabasa to stay in the box so that those abadlala bafana nabo president ama 2000, I think it's best if adlala go winger so that he can cut in and deliver those passes to Umabasa. I think last season they did well Umabasa ukuthi ahlale boxing. He even scored a lot of goals for Orlando Pirates. So ngifuna ukuchaza ngale t-shirt oyigqokile the way ngibona inhle ngakhona it shows ukuthi the team lela ku bottom it unites both of them, the east and the west. This one ela ku south it unite ela ku west na ku south. So that's
Hey man. What a thing, a faggy logo, you are all of a sudden. Hey Mara, it's okay.
No, ngiyayithanda. I like the way ngakhona. It shows ukuthi Sundowns united the Soweto teams lapha phezulu yabona. That's how
Nahlupa Mara, bobo.
enye into
Yeah.
Yeah, enye into ngibone ufaka umuntu oright ngesikhathi eswrong. Uyazi ubonga zabe kumele umfake ekugcineni. Ucethe ukudraw izolo. Ngiyacabanga ngabe ucale ngovelile because igame yakhe icale early yabona.
Maria, longa.
Unfortunately ufike early. Unfortunately ufike early kupanel. Vele bengayidize.
Mara ufurukubuza bobo before haba. Ufurukubuza two things.
Yes.
Number one, uthi ngale ndaba kaMfukeng at 10. Why Jose Foster number one, and then number two. The second question is going to go towards midfield the Pirates. How do you feel about that midfield, the balance in midfield, and maybe let me ask you those two questions.
Yeah, number one, Yagamfukeng. I think ukuze amsebenzise as a 10, akana choice.
Okay.
we are forced coach ukuthi amlethe ku that position, because you don't have anyone kule bench le Pirate, especially abo Kimvuti. You can trust him to play as a 10. Yes, uDlamini, he can play as a 10, but akusu umuntu ukuthi unga rely kuye the whole 90 minutes umdlalo ofana noDlamini. So I think uMfukeng we are forced because udinga someone on confident, especially ku lineup yakhe the first 11. So yes, Umfukeng is good umadlala ngapha ku winger akhona ukuthatha in the finishing izinto ezifana nalezo. So but kwamanje I think we are forced the absent of Tito, guys, noma singakhuluma sithi Pirate inabadlali abaningi, but that guy is a special player for Orlando Pirates. Ngizovelila thinta indaba ukuthi bekuyisizini yokuthi Pirates manje ngaceda le dominance eSundowns ku Betway, but uma ungabheka the way ngathi kunenkinga ngazi kubadlali, even though singekho sure, but ngibona ngathi Pirates izoyibalekela le league. Angifuni ukutshela manga, bengibona ngathi izocompete right. I'm not saying they're going to win. Mina ngibona bebazocompete neSundowns until to the last mhlambe 2 or final day ye league. So kungena kule number 2, I think ayikho balance so far in midfield Orlando Pirates, especially ku center. Guys, asibeni iqiniso iyamdinga Pirates umuntu ozodlala kule midfield Orlando Pirates, ozothatha responsibility, ozokhona nokumanage game, because if you can check sometimes Orlando Pirates iyakhona ukuthi idlala ayinayo umdlalo ngakhona ukuyimanager. Look at umdlalo ofana noMbatha, the way aluza amabhola ngakhona. Look at umdlalo ofana noMakhehleni, uzokunikeza the first maybe 45 minutes leyo energy. At the end of the day kuba nzima uma bathole opponent engathi mhlawumbe inemandla, ine-energy against bona. So I think if bangasayina umdlalo ofana no-Adams, for me I think Pirates ingancedakala kakhulu ngendlela ngibona ngakhona.
Okay, no, thank you, Bobzin. Let me bring in Xolani. Xolani, welcome to the show. Xolani, let me try and mute you there, maybe. Oh, there we go. Xolani, welcome to the show, man.
So hamba kanjani mfethu?
Ngimnandi man.
Ngibingelela ama members epanel.
Sikhuluma ngale ndaba ye-study bijani ne-Pirates, man. Uyibona njani game?
Pirates iphuwa kakhulu. Especially on the midfield. Abanayo umuntu okwazi ukucombine ne striking force sabo ne defense yabo nama-wing abo. So like I said, uBobo ukuthi iforcelekile ukusebenzisa uMfukeng as number 10 because ayina choice. Isquad sayo asikho strong enough ukuthi singamelana nemagame league nawe lokhungana nawe Champions League. Yeah, because mawuthi yabheka abanabo lobo mdlali abakuthiwa bane big heart when it comes to emagame kanje. So number 10 awumdingi umfana njengomFukeng, so it's too young ukuthi is right eqhamuka as a winger, but I don't think ukuthi ku-number 10 u-number 10 udinga umuntu onestamina kabi nje futhi. Kuba nzima kumFukeng ukuthi amelane nayo yonke into, because uma u-number 10 funeka every touch eyenziwa i-team yakho ube khona, when defense, when striking, when play a ball in the midfield funeka ube da, but akakwazi ukwenza lokho because akakwazi ukucombine kahle ne-midfield yakhe uMbatha, which is Makhawula. Like I said uBobo ukuthi uma Khehle Makhawula ungakunikeza futhi u45 minutes bamkhulu, kuba yilowo moment mhlambe awo lesigabana seteam uthi yenza kanjani isteam ngaleso sikhathi, then emva kwalokho uyaphela uMakhawula. So bayadinga abadlali, actually nje badinga 2 or 3 wabadlali abazodlala kwi-midfield. One is a box to box player, like ngoba noMbatha uyaphela, but when remember ngathola uAdams, ubethola uAdams is a holding midfield, but naye kudinga ngoba usemncane, kudinga naye abe ne backup lapho.
Mara why bangamthembi uteam? Kenzakaleni ngoteam?
Uteam uyakwazi uma uyi-midfield, especially uyi-holding midfield like uteam, kudinga ukwazi ukuthi team yakho mayiqala at the back iball kunama spaces okumele wakha ama spaces. Mase ukhavele leso spaces bakuphathela ibhola, ucomfortable na ebholeni ukuthi ungakwazi ukuthena udla indoda uphase ibhola. Always uteam mayiphethe ibhola uphasa sideways or either ubheke ngakwi-opponent yakhe or either ubheke ngakubo ugoalkeeper wakhe. Akakwazi ukuphasa ibhola liya direct eswini. Yabo kunalama bhola, if you remember, kunebhola elakolwa uLodge i-Sundowns idlala neMaritzburg. Lama short passes or 2 meter 3 meter pass oyifaka direct phakathi kwamalokhungana kwama-defense or kwe-midfield just ukwenza look how Mokwena played ngesikhathi bedlala i-Sundowns idlala neRaja. Mokwena so deep ukhoza noLibusa bevula. Mokwena uyahamba yakuRonwen Williams. Ngesikhathi Mokwena ehamba yakuRonwen Williams ethe uyothatha ibhola alende usa ngemumva kwaMokwena kune second space okufanele ithathe uAlende or mangeke uyena uAlende umkhulisi. Then bayithatha lo bhola baphenduka nayo bakwazi ukuyifaka the way ama-pocket like uLihlaku the goal ekolo uReynolds. Look how run, how Ronwen Williams coach ukuthi uLihlaku go this way, I will put the ball in you, then uthena inside. iPirates ayinawo labo bantu abanjalo. We need the more players. Udinga more than players ukuthi bebe nalezo zinto zokwazi ukuhlakaza i-team, and their team ayikho into ibinayo etheni surprise ukuthi i-strong la ibidlala nje as ukuthi siyazana thina sizodlala kanje, at least masithola igoli kuzoba right.
Manje ngitshele i-Pirates ikora kanjani the way ngama-player now right now ikora kanjani i-Pirates? How would you set up i-Pirates ukuthi yokora? Because I think khona inkinga lapha phambili.
Makgopa is a fair choice. Makgopa, like I said ubobo ukuthi uMakgopa ukwazi ukwenzela omunye umdlali, umdlali uyi-striker or umdlali on the midfield fanele ukwazi ukurana off the ball. You have a ball, you don't have a ball, make a run ezokwenza teammate yakho ithole the perfect space. Look ukuthi uMakgopa if not performing well, Mfukeng is not performing well because don't have that space at need. And naye uMaswangayi uma uMakgopa engekho right engaperform kahle abakwazi ukuperforma kahle because abasitholi lesi space ofangabe bayasithola. Because ngesikhathi emaka i-defense or 2-3 defenders azoba confused ukuthi why eyale khoza akaliphethe ibhola or abazi kumphasela ibhola, but still uyarun uyale, then uyakwazi opponent ulokhungana i-teammate yakho ukufaka ibhola lapho lithola omunye umuntu akwazi ukulisebenzisa, or mhlambe yena aqhama eseqedela the second ball from goalkeeper or mhlawumbe from sliding ku defense. So badinga ama-signings amakhulu or uDlamini akufuneki bemsebenzise as number 10 or as every time uright ma izaqhama as a substitute. But kunidingeka i-coaching staff kwi-Pirates iyalekha too much. Ngicabanga ukuthi bathembele kuma-individual brilliant kubadlali ukuthi no uzokwenza usibanibani vele uyakwazi ukudlala, but umdlali always umdlali udinga that something ozomtshela yona ucoach ukuthi ngoba usuke ungaphandle ibuka kancane igame lapha nalapha bayalekha labo bantu. So user leso space or user ama-touches like ngisaid awukwazi ukuthi if uyi-half ye-team odlala kuma-opponent akho awuphasi ibhola direct and the center lokhane uyi-face yepali always uphasa sideways. Kulula bakumake labo bantu labo if uphasa sideways
for isikhathi for isikhathi ngizongena for isikhathi ngizongena sorry and like okay, let me give you the last 30 seconds iqedelela ipoint yakho, then we'll move on to uMuluku.
lapho ngesikhathi ngiphethe ibhola mina ulokhungana uyi-teammate yami mangidlala i-short pass nomunye umdlali let's say uMakgopa mayidlala i-one touch noMfukeng, so uyathola mhlambe i-teammate yabo ukurana i-spaces right if uyakwazi ukurana off the board. So iPirates lekha i-coaching too much kulezo ndawo enjengalezo kwi-attacking yabo, mhlambe mabengalungisa lapho badinga ama-signing amaningi for ubalance team yabo.
No, Putrani, thank you so much for joining. For isikhathi ithi ngifake uMuluku, welcome to the show. How are you?
Unmute.
Nyamzama. Muluku. Okay, let's see if we can't get Muluku back. While we wait for that, guys, kupani tap the screen. If you have not followed, please follow if it's your first time here. Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. we're going to be here speaking about our South African football. Every now and then say overseas, but not that much. So please tap the screen, guys, tap the screen. And also, man, ki December, guys, kupadi gift man lenna, kibem natili familia ka, kirbarin cheletenyane on TikTok. I just wanted to show you this, guys. The next one is we're going to the Sundowns game. The Sundowns versus Raja Casablanca game is going to be where we are going next, because I see that maybe Umulu can't get in. So if you are requesting right now, please make sure that you're requesting for the Sundowns versus Raja game. While we do that, guys, look at the members there. This is for my kid. No, they printed this for my kid. Look, they even have a young thing at the back. Look at this. How beautiful is this, guys? Unfortunately, man, the little mokwena, he's in the Eastern Cape right now, Mara. Guys, my members, guys. Aye, man. Hey, namil kogi lelam. Okay, so let me go into the next panel, just to save a little bit of time. Spiro kya hokena, Spiro kya hokenya, Spiro. Kya tseba oro Pirates, mara kya hokenya kawana hawatswa, Q.
Yo, one of Palima today.
Aye, man. Ow, December. Ngwana re mpositse remisitse kokoko. Remisitse kokoko kya shine.
Untsha ko Pirates, untsha ko Sundowns.
Ke gunse.
Barateka bari.
Akira again.
We can't even defend our team. Defend our team, Baba.
I said at the end, guys. I said at the end.
Our team, yeah, and you're not giving us a chance to defend our team.
At the end, you can jump in.
Enough chances in that game. The only problem that we had in the game was to score.
Looks whoa, time out. Whoa, hey, guys, calm down. If you want to defend your team last 30 minutes of the show, you can jump in and defend your team. So can we please, guys, can you respect people's time as well? Okay. Spiro, we're going to go into Sundowns versus Raja. Sundowns win 1-0. They have 10 shots, 4 on target. Raja had 3 shots, none on target. 63% possession for Sundowns. They completed 559 passes versus Raja, who only conceded 326. Prasem, Orenka came as Sundowns.
Sundowns game, that game was... what was that game? Because I went there to witness the new coach in action. So apparently Raja is the best team, but to be honest, I didn't see anything. They were just there to get the row and go back.
Yeah.
And then Sundowns saw that these people are there. What they did do, they tried to press and press and press. That boy Litlagu, I'm bill, guys. But $70 million, whatever, for what reason? What is salesman? No. There's a player there, promoted player. He comes in, he do the job. No 70 million required to sign him.
Yeah.
I don't understand why should they go out there and buy players while they have players go DDC.
Yeah.
Even the Khoza boy.
Prasem, I want to ask you, do we underestimate what Sundowns is as a team now in terms of what they looked at in Africa? But to be honest, they hadn't been in Champions League for a while. They're struggling right now. I think they're number 6. Are we underestimating Sundowns and overestimating the teams in Atakakwa? Just Kalibito.
No, Sundowns is Sundowns. I don't think there's any change from Rulani to Mangoba to this new guy.
Yeah.
It's just been the same Sundowns. Just that people, even Mangola said, the Howlers, the Howlers get more respect because you make noise, yeah, and then they think you are right. They agree with you. Because Yana is quiet, they think is a stupid. No, it's not a stupid. Mangama won 16 games out of 22. He only lost 2 Maggies and Blogwan and maybe Stellenbosch. But in that time, he was still trying to balance the team. Not to say that he's a bad coach. Because this guy will be standing in the touchline 90 minutes, making noise, unnecessary noise. They will say he's a good coach. Wait until they draw tomorrow, you will see. We will see Rutawana Raba tomorrow. Hey, what. So, Now we know them again. We know
How
them.
Shebile, what do you think of the new coach? You mentioned him now. What do you think of the new coach first game in? How Shebile nje? How bonne the way that they set up by it? How do you feel about him?
I don't feel anything. I don't see any difference, to be honest. I just see the same Sundowns. You come with the same players. They are just motivated because now there's a new guy in town. They're trying to impress. Not to say it was him. Wait until it comes July. But again, February, we'll see the real Kasongo. You'll see the real Kasongo. Wait, give it a month or two. You'll see the real Kasongo.
Marabare, there was a lot of personal problems. But do you think that the players will get over the personal problems?
Yeah, I agree. Some players had a problem with Mangoba because Mangoba was coming in with that bossy attitude. So they were like sulky and didn't want to play. This guy is a new guy. They want to impress. They want to be on the good side. So they will perform for now. And then we'll go there, we'll mess up everything. I won't be surprised if he goes back to Portugal before the season end.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. Let me bring in Shembe. Shembe, welcome to the show. How are you, my brother? Habibi. Shembe. Hey, man, I can't carry Robert, man. Let me bring in Lungster.
Hey,
Lungster, man. Wakena, man.
Look at this shirt.
Before I go any further, with all protocols observed, but you must also give us the floor in order for us.
Actually, that's the last part of the show. So I said already, the last part of the show is open for anybody who wants to say anything. I'll give you your time to come in.
Okay. Look at the game of Sundowns. Renati tournament kokazi. So we're going to phone in there and there. I didn't see much of it, but the 30 or 60, 40, 50 minutes that I saw.
Okay.
As the last speaker has said, remember now there's a new coach in town. You see, the players will be motivated, try to convince the coach that I am here, I'm available to play, I need to play. You see, so if you remember last time when we were on the show, I said we have this South African players have this thing of not trying, of not wanting to change. You see.
Yeah,
they were resistant to change because now Mangoba firstly is a South African coach and is a black coach, right? And then obviously in terms of discipline, he's a teacher by profession, so discipline will always be paramount to him. You see, so Rulani had discipline, but he was more friendly to the players. You see, he had the discipline, yes, but he was more disciplined. He was more friendly to the players.
Yeah,
South African players, as I said, what they will do, they will, in terms of discipline, arrive in training early according to what you want, right? Do everything that you want them in training, right? But the problem is going to be the results. You are not going to get the results. The players, when they are on the field, they are going to do a go slow. You see, you're gonna lose games that you're not supposed to lose. You're gonna draw games that you're not supposed to draw because the players are on a strike, in an unofficial strike that you as a coach don't know. You see, that's what the players are going to do. Now, Sundowns as a new coach, you could see in that game there was a new energy. You could see the players were up for the game. They wanted to play. And Raja, remember, Raja is not the Raja that we know. He's not as strong as it was. It's the same as Ahly. People were talking a lot about Ahly. It was the first time watching Ahly playing Pirates at Orlando. They were more defending than attacking Orlando Pirates. All Ahly was all out to attack. They will attack you. You see, if they see that they don't have a result, then they will resort to negative tactics and try to play for a draw so that they can play at home, you see. But this Ahly played for a draw at Orlando, you see. And people now are talking about Orlando, about Paris that, not having the players.
Okay.
Not having the players. But it's going to be, it's the same thing. It depends on the team that you are playing. What are they playing for? Do they open the game? Are they going to open the game? Raja didn't open the game. Raja played on transition. So Sundowns also had to be very careful of getting hit on transition, especially playing at home. You don't want to concede. You don't want to concede at home. You see.
Was it fear? Was it fear? Or was it tactical?
It's more tactical. It's more tactical because you want to concede at home. Because if you don't concede at home, it makes it easy for you when you go away. Because remember, North African teams, they open the game when they play at home. When they play away, they don't open the game when they play. They don't play. They will open a little bit. Or like if you score first, all right, you score first, they will consolidate until maybe the 60th minute. Then from the 60th minute, you will see the North African teams start playing, trying to get a goal. You see, and if you see now, people are saying Sundowns is not playing through the middle. He's not playing through the middle. They're trying to go wide and everything because of Umnit. Right now, where was the Sundowns goal created? It was a ball from the keeper wide. Right, Lotlaku went wide. Get the ball in the box. The ball was scored from across, not from the tiki-taka that everyone is saying, let's play this. You got what I mean? So now this coach will bring the same thing that Manqoba was trying to do, whereby now, because if teams are applying a low block, you need to be able to propose them aside, because you can't try to go through the middle all the time, because North Africans are very good in that, in defending the center. You see, so you need to be able to go wide, and when you go wide, you need players, skillful players, and quick players to unlock those defenders. You see, now they went because now the Tlago had the ball on the right. If you saw, they were all moving to the right hand side now where the ball was. You see, without now picking up from the middle, because any of the three Sundowns players that were in the box could have scored that goal if the Letlago decided to pass to them, but he decided to pass to Reyners, who was actually free outside the box. But look where the Raja players were; they were all concentrating on Letlago. You see,
I want to ask you something.
That's not how they defend.
I just want to ask you something with the last few seconds here. Do you think that now we have an idea of what Sundowns is trying to do? Because if you're saying that Manqoba was playing that football and now the new coach is maybe picking up that football, is that now, do we now know what Fleming and the management is trying to implement? And will Sundowns fans be okay with that?
I'm thinking, remember, winning changes everything, you see. So the coach might try, he will try to go the same way that Manqoba was doing. Because he's a North African coach, he's an Argentinian coach, but he's been coaching in Africa. And in Africa, that's how they play. His teams don't play tiki-taka. They play that transition ball. That's how they play. So he's going to play the same thing. But the only difference now is just going to be the change of the coach. And when he gets the results, everyone is going to be happy. No one is going to look at, is he playing the Sundowns way? Is he playing the Pitso way? Is he playing the Rulani way? But because the results are coming, they are going to be happy about that. But
for time.
Yes, as soon as they draw or lose one game, then there's going to be rumbles. But because he won now, no one is looking at that he actually played like that. He actually played like that. He won because he played like that. There was nothing different from this team.
Looks tough for time. I'm going to have to jump in. Let me bring in Kumo. Kumo, welcome to the show. How are you?
I won. I'm excited. Hey, that thing looks good on you. And how are you?
Oh man, Kumo, tell me about this game as a Sundowns fan. How did you feel about your game versus Raja?
Before we get there, I'm the one that made sure the Sundowns logo is in the middle. Just so you know. Sooner or later, you're gonna wear our shirt. But anyway, yeah. Is it me or you? Oh, okay. Yeah, to the game, né?
Yeah.
My guy, you know what? It's refreshing to actually get your first win. We've been drawing along the two games so far, and actually we should have been number one from the onset. So obviously it wasn't our perfect game, but like our previous panelist member said, we don't have to win beautiful here in CAF because come on, we've been giving everyone the perfect football and we've lost that way. So sometimes scrappy, especially at home, and conceding actually works in our favor, considering that CAF still have the away game, away goal rule. So and head to head. So that is why it's a perfect win in terms of like getting the job done. But there isn't much to be desired because of now there are rumors that Rangers are after Rainers, right? So if they make an enticing offer, what's going to happen to our attackers? Again, I always talk about the same thing every year, which means no one can really satisfy my worries. Why is this guy, man, Ribeiro can be so good when he wants to be, but he can be so nonchalant at times. Peter, and it's a different story. I mean, at one point we had Peter, we had Ribeiro, we had Shalulile. Who was that taking fourth player?
You had Miami.
Exactly, but we still second half, first half never for. But second half we could have at least had like a time shot. Can it be on target? I don't know what's happening. Maybe we should get Benny to come and be our striker coach. So I don't know, guy. But yeah, that is my only fear, because in the Sundowns, remember there was a point in time where we didn't have our dedicated strikers in Chalulile and Ribeiro, but everyone was scoring. What happened to that? Or should they get injured, or should we leave them with Rahala? Because we know we got quality, but still Rasokola up front, and that is the only weakest link we have out there, because defense is gonna be our defense. It's always slow, and they like to give the opposition chances to actually do something. But yeah, I mean, considering
can I ask, Kumo? Can I ask? First half, you played a specific side type of football. Second half, you moved Reyners in, you moved Allender in, and the goal came from a direct ball from Ronan Williams. Is that the football that Mamelodi Sundowns is going to play? And are you, as a Sundowns fan, going to be fine with giving away the possession side of the ball if that is how you're going to play on transition counters like that?
I'm a simple man. Winning makes me happy. Re bribile, re free, re benefitile, matchbox, whatever. I don't care. Win. But you know what I like about that? It was something that was unexpected. Ron when we the assist and assist, and there was creative play. You want at least the plan B, plan C, plan D. We can be creative. We are no longer one-dimensional anymore. So if this doesn't work for ourselves, we can try something. I mean, like, we've got the quality. Why not utilize them? And also in Twinkatlang, for that surprise element, so meaning you can't really prepare what's gonna come. So if you're gonna continue go low block, as you found that one pass, that defense splitting pass that people think only Kune can produce very flawlessly. Our number one keeper on the continent, and not just based on the continent. Competing against everyone from Europe.
Okay. Kumo, for time's sake, I'm going to let in Ushembe. Shembe, let's try again, Habibi. Are you with me now?
Can you hear me, Habibi?
I can hear you perfectly.
You see now, Habibi is the new t-shirt. He mess with the network. The nice white t-shirt there from the members. Disturb the network. See, Mr. Otsi?
Tell me about this game, man. 1-0 Raja.
Sure, Mr. Otsi, ngifuna ukuthi konke amasandawana happy. Isukile aeroplane ke manje. Isukile happy. Isukile manje aeroplane, Mr. Otsi. Flight Manqoba has landed. It's now time for Flight Cardoso to take flight. The conditions in the sky are looking partly cloudy. Should be landing in safe and smooth.
That takeoff was shaky.
You know what, Mr. Otsi, if you allow me to go into this rabbit hole, I think that building up to this first game, Mr. Otsi, Coach Cardoso did everything right that Manqoba did wrong. And this is what I mean by this. The theatrics and the character arc, Yaga Cardoso speaks volume. His ability to read the room and pay attention to small details that contributes to the bigger picture is what Mangoba lacked. And what I mean by this is that even if Mangoba might have been the greatest coach, but how we perceived him supersedes reality. Okay. How we absorb Mangoba and process it informs how we judge him, despite the football results. Because how else can you explain someone being at a football club for 10 years and then coming when he gets the chance to be a head coach saying, I don't like how we played, I'm going to dismantle this thing. So that speaks to his lack of ability to reading the room, because the first thing you need to do is not only get the players' trust, but also get the fans' trust and also get the board's trust. And you don't do that by saying what you guys have been doing this whole time was wrong, because what have we been building up to then, Mr. Otsi? So the small details, forget what's pitching, but the small details that contributes to the bigger scheme of things, Mangoba got completely wrong. How he managed the relationships within the players. You can see Cardoso is doing the exact opposite. He's saying, we need to be one united front. Come to my side, guys. I'm with you guys. I'm not here to do, because today he said that he emphasized the importance of Umshish. Umangoba said Mshishi needs to prove this is a senior player that all the other players look up to. So if you as a head coach gonna come out to the public and tell the world, good see, this guy still needs to earn his place, what are you saying about the rest of the players that are not leaders? Versus Cardoso, who has emphasized the importance of having multiple Mshishis in the team. He's emphasized that Abo Mokwena need to take up responsibility and be leaders. He wants them to be leaders. He wants them to assist the coaches. He wants them to give. He wants them to contribute to the overall ship, which is Mamelodi Sundowns, Mr. Otsi. So that alone already says there's going to be less resistance from the players to buy into what he's selling.
Can I make the argument that he did that on the pitch as well? Because in the first half, man, it was almost like a game that was played that was, okay, I'll give you some rulani ball. And then in the second half, they switched into the Mangoba thing and got the goal, or a Mangoba-like ball. Could I make that argument? That also, man, he also read the room there.
Yeah, Mr. Otsi. I think Cardoso has really, that's why I don't believe this guy has done this in 4 days. He must have definitely have had time before this to see a flop. Maybe Mangoba was that test trial to say, hey coach, look at this team, see how you're gonna need to. Can you still hear me, Mr. Otsi?
I can hear you, but it's choppy. But let's try finish. Let's see.
Mr. Otsi?
Hey, Shembe, I think I'm losing you there. For time's sake, I'm gonna move you out.
Otsi?
Hey, Kare, we're behind a little bit there. For time's sake, I'm gonna move you out, Shembe. But feel free again to jump in and give me maybe a minute there at the end of how you feel. It's in Bobzin. Team Yako, first game, Yaga, Cardoso, new coach, new what. How did you feel about the game? How did you see the game?
All right, thanks, my brother. Skatsako Fuji. I think Begasakuluminte right, man. My leader, especially the way Ngimuza ezangakhona ngendaba kaCardoso. Nami ngiyacabanga uCardoso kusikhathi akuMamelodi Sundowns. Just that bebasangakam appoint. If you can check the way afike ngakhona. Look at the lineup. It could tell ukuthi lineup yakhe umuntu o understand iSundowns. Ngizwe elinye member lithi no iSundowns now ifuna ukudlala wide. Idlala wide if i-ready opponent. If the opponent ipaki pass, sometimes maybe ibambe nge-counter attack. Indlela yokubamba i-team epaki pass. If you can check, the guys were organized. Raja Casablanca was a good side, guys. Let us be honest. They did very well. Just that unfortunately Sundowns managed to score lela goal. But bona their game plan be right kakhulu. So I think Sundowns isadlala yona le ball esilaziyo. Iyafuna ukubreak ama window in the middle. But if team ipaki pass, you need any option. How can I break the defense of the team? So give credit to Uronza. Singalindi last bona khona izinto ngathi ziyabheda. So the guy wenze kahle 3 touches kwaba igoli. So if you can check ama team azofuna ukupaka ibus shoda kumelanga bak attack. The more back attacker kunala uzoba catcher khona. And I think that's good for the way coach adlale ngakhona, because it's not like we build at the back singene in the middle managed to go wide so that he can deliver the cross. No, it was just the counter attack. So I think iSundowns lapho idlale kahle kakhulu. So enye into futhi nje ngabe mude kakhulu uthi uma ungabheka iSundowns the way idlala ngakhona. Yes, we can say it's a first game for a coach. We can say the badlali bafuna ukumotivate coach. Same thing naku team like Kaizer Chiefs. If the team hired the new technical team, kumele kube na something. I like the spirit. If you can check dressing room yabo kusho ukuthi manje show something. Look at the bench. Coach Cardoso nabo Steve Kompela. They're trying ukuleta that unity kubench Mamelodi Sundowns, and game siwina ngaleyo ndlela. So I like the way ngibona enza ngakhona. It's not like a coach ofika hlale no. And that's how you play CAF Champions League, the way Sundowns idlala ngakhona. Look at after we scored that goal, he managed to bring in abadlali abafana nabo Mabuye, Abushalulile, to manage the game so that we grab that 3 points, we forget about everything. So ngiyacabanga ukuthi no, this time sizobona something different coach Cardoso. Labo usho khona awuthama ukuthi ubona ihlukile I-play yakhe na yaka coach Manqoba. Mina ngiyacabanga man ukuread the game. If you read the game kumele ube ne plan B. You can't just play because of when we are playing like this. Sometimes kumele lose in a plan B. If you see okay, these guys we can't break them in the middle or la kula ma pockets eswadingayo, then you can play wide and try. Look at Urenas. Kuno Shalulile uranele boxing, the guy uranele boxing, but he managed to drop abuye la good idea, good D-line, so that a receive ball, good finisher, kumdlalo fana no Renas. Not always you must be inside the box. Sometimes you're told the defense, they are organized like boxing. You can't make it. So kufuna ube ne plan B. Ngiyacabanga nje ngayibeka lapho Brian.
So mina ngifuna ukubuza Bobo, when you look at iSundowns and inkinga iSundowns maybe to win the Champions League. I mean, I've got a theory that iSundowns, man, it didn't need a lot to change. Maybe the only thing that you needed to change was the last 20 minutes of your games where it's either, man, as you say, reading the game. Do you feel that Coach Cardoso is going to bring that? Because it feels as though now they're going back to a little bit of what they know, but now maybe he knows how to finish games. Is that the only thing very short about Sundowns?
Yeah, I think so. The way Coach Cardoso enza ngakhona, especially last experience. Ukhonile ukurida opponent, especially team efana neMamelodi Sundowns. To beat Sundowns home and away, it was not an easy thing. My team, especially CAF Champions League. Even Ahly, they were struggling to do that against Sundowns. I'm talking about I'm a team good afana nabo Ahly. So what I can say ukuthi coach Cardoso into engayisho ngayo ukuthi umuntu khona ukuread game ukuthi manje yes ngidlala ngalendlela le but igame manje idinga 1 2 3, we understand. So mina kumele ukuthi ngenze so la ukuze ukuthi ngiwine le game. So I'm not saying he's going to win CAF Champions League. I think Namasandawana is not the right time to put a pressure under good idea coach Cardoso. Kumele simnikeze ichance akana pre-season neMamelodi Sundowns. Yes, ufikile first game wawina, singa expect ama miracles because he's judge wrong. We understand. Okay. So into kumele siyenze is to give him a chance. Then yes, like I understand ukuthi competition ayikho ngale ndlela. Like I ngibona into ewani nje kuphela ukuthi no bachubeka botito nabosaleng bahlale, then Pirates ikhona ukudrop asiwine le league yabona.
No, ubzine mara. Why is it that abantu babangena kusho bafuna you want to take the last punch? But Babzin, thank you so much. We'll join again. Guys, we're going into Kaizer Chiefs now. We're going into Kaizer Chiefs. So if you are requesting, I need you to know that you are going to speak Kaizer Chiefs now, please. Then after we're done with the Kaizer Chiefs section, we'll speak about whatever you guys want to speak. I'll leave it open. Everybody can jump in. Give me a minute. how they're feeling about their team or whatever, what you want to speak to me about, and then we'll go from there. Hey, the therapy session is starting. Guys, please don't remember to tap the screen. Don't forget to tap the screen. Tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen. Kupari gift, Timara guys. Kupari gift. Thank you, Papa Khosi. Thank you, C State. Thank you to Prasipo. Thank you to Fandenom. Guys, Kupari gift, man, Kupari gift. Okay. This is what I'll say about Mamelodi Sundowns. A well-needed win. Whenever you're starting a new job, you need to get the win. And I will repeat the thing just as a very short thing about what I feel of Mamelodi Sundowns. I feel as though Mamelodi Sundowns was trying to fix a flat tire by buying a new car. And sometimes all they needed to do, whether it be Coach Mangoba, whether it be Coach Rulani in his time, was to fix the last 20 minutes. Decision-making of the last 20 minutes. Urlani learned a lesson when they played Wydad the first time round, where he lost it in the Africa. To win in Africa, that 20 minutes is where teams strike. They want to hit you there. They can play the worst football. They can play the worst football that you'll ever see. But in that last 20 minutes, you'll see a different team. Ask Pirates what the second half versus Stade Abidjan was like, even though we also saw a good team, a good team lap. So I feel as though sometimes Sundowns are trying to fix that, like to change systems and chameleon and all that, when really you just need to figure out that last 20 minutes, do you defend, do you attack? How do you manage the game then? Because Pirates beat them late, ES Tunis beat them late, Wydad beat them late. A lot of the things that were happening, I think Makiesi came alive late as well to win that game. And Sundowns was doing way too much to fix a very small problem, I believe. Hopefully, Umikal Caruso comes with that attitude of, that pragmatic attitude of, we've played the game, we now have to figure out how to finish the game. And he did it versus Sundowns, so you're hoping he can do it for Sundowns now. Okay, let me see who's here so that we can get into the Chiefs panel. And then, of course, at the end, man, I'll let everybody come in. If you want to defend your team, if you want to speak about something, I'll give you a minute. Tell me what you're thinking. I may or may not ask you a question, and we'll take it from there. So let me see who's here for each Chiefs. I want to give the guys who are already in line. Please don't forget to tap the screen. Tap the screen Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. I will be here. Unless Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Bafana, Banyana are playing. So tomorrow we're going to be watching Mamelodi Sundowns live on the show together on the watch along. CJ, I can't call you the showstopper now. I can't call you the showstopper now because you're coming in at this time, but it's okay. You're a showstopper anyway. CJ,
Don't worry, Mr. OT. Don't worry. Sometimes the best will come in first. Listen.
Tell me about your Galaxy Chiefs. 1-1. You've got 5 minutes.
How much time do I have?
5 minutes.
Okay, let me use my first 3 minutes to properly analyze the game. You know, after watching the match, I think when I watched the match live, I watched it with some sort of expectation, and I didn't quite. But after I watched it again, now I'm just watching it as a football game. I actually understand what Nabi was trying to do.
Okay.
But I think the problem was the player personnel that he used.
At
first, I questioned Mart as an At first, I questioned Mart as an extra safety, but I realized, okay, if you're going to use Samkelo Zwane, then one, he's slow. Two, he can only use 1 foot. With Mart, he can drift left and right on the pitch and be an extra cover and extra safety, so that Mduduzi Chabalala can play and lose the ball, but an extra safety to pick up the mess and also turn it into cover. But where I think then the player personnel started to kick in is that Mart is not as lethal as he used to be offensively. So I think he needs to work on his offensiveness. I think Mart has been a little bit more offensive in the last 3 or 4 games, and it has shown glimpses of the Mart that we bought. And unfortunately in this game, maybe it's going to be one of those things. Sometimes it's going to be on par, and sometimes it's not going to be on par. The second mistake that I think Narbi made was to play Utuba. I think maybe a Pule Modi would have been a better option. The nippiness, the spaceness, but also take into consideration him and Mduduzi Chabalala, they've got a nice playing pattern that these boys create. Maybe Narpi could have been the reason why he picked it up. And I liked it. The only problem that I also picked up is that there is not a nice working pattern between Ox and Blom. But because I think Ox and Blom are more or less the same player. It's the same person, just duplicated. So I would have chosen Mart and Ox to be the two safeties, and I would have chosen a more of a Mdantsane kind of extra bite creative player in the middle of the park. And I also would have not played Chabalala. I think I would have looked for Mdantsane. I don't know what's going on with Mdantsane, whether he's injured or what. I think that game needed more of a Mdantsane. But I liked his substitutions.
Can I ask you two things, Sinje? One, how do you create leadership in that team, and how do you create communication? Because I feel like sometimes the tactics and all of that is great, Mara. They don't talk, man. It doesn't seem like they I'm not asking for them to have super chemistry, but when things are going wrong, I'm not seeing people putting up their hands to say to the team, guys, let's do this, let's do that.
Yeah. I think for I don't know whether it's a religious influence. Mart is not that person. I think maybe based on his religion, it's not a religion that is outspoken, flamboyant, directiveness. It's more of a within type of a religion. Maybe that's also playing a huge role on the leadership side. But also Miguel, I think with his short temper, I don't think the PSL is a place for him, because players and referees are so they're babies, man. You can't even without bruising their egos. But yeah, I think Chiefs. I think Nabi needs to have in this transfer window 2 or 3 players that I agree with him. Players that have a little bit of a bite, decision making, thinking. That type of a player was needed in that game. And I think that's where Mduduzi, Mdantsane was needed for me. When you have a Serino is out, you've got Mdantsane who can think, because Independent apparently is injured. So you need a thinker in that game as well. And unfortunately, we don't have one in that starting lineup that Nabi had. My last minute, Mr. Oti, you know what? When you associate yourself with nice things, right? You are bound to do nice things.
Okay.
You copy nice things. We see Abo Fundo Vilakazi, their brand ambassadors, Jiggy Sundowns players are also now venturing into that space, becoming brand ambassadors. We like it. And because now the players are also venturing into this niceness, you see it's filtering also in their fans. Mr. Oti, I like that. When you associate yourself as a fan with nice fans, you're about to do nice things. Now you're wearing T-shirts. And I want to say, you know what, these Sundowns fans, they being associated with Chiefs fans, they think niceness. You understand? My prayer is that they may also learn to go to the stadium. And stop being a magolo. They must keep a money, man. I think we should have a prayer. Every Sundowns fan needs to be associated with a bed, so they may learn to go to their pockets. These people must not only go to the stadium when it's free. They must pay. We are going to organize. Abo agent, all of them. We're going to organize them beddies, so they may learn to spend.
Time. Let me bring in Ongaba for time's sake. Ongaba, welcome to the show. How are you? Ongaba, are you with me?
How are you?
Hey, CJ.
Yeah.
Tell me about this game. Welcome. Sorry.
Thank you for the opportunity, Oti. Hope you are great, man. I'll start with the preparation of the coach. I think the coach was preparing a 4-4-2, which is a diamond shape. That 4-4-2 of a diamond shape was having 2 6 anchor players to play more of absorbing pressure and make sure that we have numerical numbers in terms of defensive wise.
Yeah.
I think in terms of making sure that the player like Zajkovic and also those players, he was not getting much chances as much as the way the team the TS Galaxy wanted to play. I think he got one or two chances off target.
Yeah.
I think according to the plan that was played in the first half, to make sure that the player the front line doesn't get the clear-cut chance from the middle and make sure that you absorb pressure. I think that plan was executed. In terms of conceding goal, I think that was the lack of responsibilities in terms of the players. They didn't take responsibility into the midfield. So I think it was in terms of the responsibility factor. In terms of going forward, I think the two players that we used to play with, which is Dupriz and Wandile Tuba, I think Tuba and Dupriz, where their responsibility was to be on the half spaces and make sure that they cheat and make sure that they find themselves in a space whereby they can score goal scoring opportunities. But what I found in that game was that Wandile Tuba was dropping as much as possible, was not doing his job as an offensive player, whereby he's pressing and make sure that the opposition is not coming back. So I think that was the fundamental factor that the coach was clarified on how to approach the game. Then Ntutuzi Shabalala was that player to link up the front line and make sure that he breaks the attack, like that ball that was passed into Dupriz. So that was the ideological approach of the game. Okay.
Can I ask you before you move on from there? I want to ask you, how do you teach responsibility? How do you teach players to put their hands up? Because we've got a lot of players that have come into Chiefs that were captains, that were big players. The moment they get there, they sort of shrink. How do you teach that responsibility, and how do you make sure that if you go into the transfer window and bring in another player, they don't have the same problems?
It's quite problematic when OT, because this problem that we have, it was a problem that started in the season of Arthur Zwane. This flow of the problem of the players that are struggling in terms of their confidence. I don't know whether it's a confidence or it's a pressure factor, because I think the factors that we are lacking in our team, it's confidence wise, player personality, quality wise, pressure wise, and great mindset, and also responsibility factor. So these are the factors sometimes that I see that they are lacking in our team. And you would see that in terms of the responsibility, you would see if the team is winning, sometimes the team take more responsibility. They believe in themselves. I think that another thing that makes our team lose in terms of confidence, and also conceding those goals that we are conceding. It's a factor of not believing much on them. But I believe that the coaches put the much work, which is Lyle Zugi, the goalkeeper coach, they push the much anticipated work into the dressing room and making sure that the players go out there believing in themselves. I don't know whether it's about the pressure in the players. They have much abundant of pressure in themselves. I think there are a lot of factors that are accumulating into the players' minds in making these factors of not us conceding goals and also not scoring much goals. There are slight factors that are contributing in those things that are behind the scene.
For time's sake.
Input when
No, thank you, Ngama. Let me bring in the Stereophonic. Stereophonic, welcome.
Enters the objective Kaizer Chiefs supporter.
Let's hear. When someone announces it, we don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, my brother, tell me about this game.
The PTSD continues, especially what happened in the first half. The same way we conceded against Makezi, load shedding from the defense. ordinary 2001 ball watching. Like, man. Like, that was just, I was so disappointed. And if you look at the lineup, I think Nabi was very negative. I mean, 3 center backs, Ditloko on the left. No, man. It just showed you that it's as if he wasn't there to like win the game. I think he was just there to see. I could say.
Isn't that a good thing? Isn't that a good thing? Maybe don't concede today.
Okay, it's a double-edged sword for me because yes, you're looking to not concede, but then what's your plan to attack? Because even the midfield, you look at it, it's Blom, Matt, and Mtetwa. I mean, that is just who's gonna pick up the ball from the defense if you're trying to build from the back.
Yeah,
and clearly you saw that there was no one that was doing that. And every time they tried to build from the back, 4 passes later, turnover ball, and then suddenly they're on the back foot.
Yeah.
So I was just not happy. Maybe the positive thing that Nabi did was the changes. It had some effect, but I even mentioned it on the show, on the watch along, that I do not see, because I saw everyone else was very positive. They're like, yo, no, we'll come back 3-2, 3-1, 2-1. I was like, guys, here I only see a draw. And maybe thanking the goalkeeper, he was thinking of going to Ganyamazani or Kabukweni to have some Ishisanyama vibes, maybe some Mohodu Monday. Network even when they conceded the goal, that was just, so for that, we thank the goalkeeper. But at the same time, it's back to the drawing board again.
Here's the question. Do you think Nabi is losing his composure? Do you think that it's starting to affect him? The way the team is, the noise from outside, maybe the burden of coaching a team like Chiefs. Are you seeing it affect him even in the decisions he makes? He was confident when he got here.
Exactly. There was some form of confidence, but I'd say arrogance, because he knew that this is the team that wanted him for over a year.
Yeah.
So for you to accept this job, I think there was and there was some pressure that maybe not everyone saw. But I think the reality hit after the Sundowns game to say, hey, in the lendlela. Because for you to come reject the job at the first time because you couldn't bring a technical team, now we say, okay, we'll give in to your demands, and then now the pressure is hitting. Now you go on television and tell them, I go Motaung Christmas gift ya di player. I was like, what the hell, bro? Like, nah, like, but I think for me, I just like the sort of honesty he has to say, because he actually gave everyone the reality check from even the younger game to say, hey, guys, hey, in the lendlela, we don't have the players, but I'm cooking. But unfortunately, everyone is expecting him to cook some beef stew or to hook up some sushi. Mara, hey, kamo opea muhodu mna, muhodu ona it's anako butswa mna. You see, that's what we are seeing.
Okay. No, Tirafonic, thank you so much. Let me go to Prati.
Bra Otizo.
Hey, Prati, pointy kenile man. Kabe kili ready chwanong kelwa. Kelwana strong right now. Orinka came in a Prati.
Brauti, ke tla ke le disappointed. Mabane ke robetse ke le disappointed. Point I over to Zaka Sepe Resalem Matatim Brauti are mo top 8. And I go tlhokagala mo point 8 ke la pile ke o raketsa mamo ke ke apiriski va sa Chiefs ma Pirates le Sundowns se ba re tshege Brauti mara gona bothata. Mabane bua nnete ke disappointed the way re tlalileng ka teng mana re bontshe re le team e le gore re batla go compete, at least go compete le position number 5 ha ke bontshe le team e re nyaka go compete position number 5, but ke batla go tshimolla ke ba blame ya ka go selong Nabi Mabane le ene go bua nnete ga seta scheme right go bua nnete the way a se setileng ka teng ai go bontsha gore nna sa batle go consider but re consider still so se questionable bra uthi bona gore go morago kwa ra consider. I don't think barking pairing ya ga barki Maguele le Dotli Roshin Dotli ba ya ke Roshin Dotli ya re berekela ke nagana gore ha e re berekele bra uthi gape wa ya tshwanetse a tshamekise barki mang Marte Blomo le barki mang le Ox kana go iwane like it was that go no in le se le negative line up ga go bra uthi
Jole Prati man Prati o tla etsang ka bane pressure ke eo ya build the pressure ka mo I'm sure wa bona ditaba every week o re ke ena ka mo ke di player na botlo last mona man
na o bua nnete bra uthi ha ke bone na bia tlo last go Chiefs tebelo go a ke bone unless ba ka mo rekela di player but ntse ke bala ditaba tse dingwe ke utlwa o ka re ba re ke mang ocean wa policy o tlo ya ka mo Pirates ka mo le thabang so ha ke itse ra go bona re ditseng a ke bone ke nagana gore nna biene ka bo yene ba tlo mo fara mosebetsi go ngutlo go tsamaya ke bona go la go mokoba ka se mokobe ba ta ke bona go lasta go Chiefs tebelo gore Chiefs ile malatsi a ile gore e ka teng ha go bua nnete re mathateng bra uthi ya re serious re robetse mo moshomong bra uthi
jwale e loka jwang man re loka jwang re lokisa jwang taba ena Prati if wena ba ka go ba Chiefs o sane ba re e lokise o ka etsa
bro uthi sometimes ra gore ka Chiefs yana yes ha rena di player but I don't think na bile no na le plan for the player tse di le teng nowadays because of who are net yes restatile hantle but I don't think re dlala the way re restatile ka think na gana gore change re tshameka bolo ile ya bo wide ile wa bona ile ya gagwe but to be honest bro uthi re mo mathateng but for now na ba ka mfa Chiefs ke go bolela ke go ba straightforward ke go bolela management ke re go palon ne budget 100 billion ke re sha for la team yotlhe ke tla sia dintwana tse dinyane tse bo dusha balala le because of yes we do have talent re na bo mudu bo vilakazi le mudu ba ke nagana gore to be honest ba dlala team erong and they will become a bad players because of ba dlala team erong o ka se tlo expect gore bafana ba compete re na le bo Marte re na le bo Motaung tshwanetse re be serious re compete ko market re sign di offensive players re se go sign bo di player hala re utlwa go player ne le captain ku sekhukhuni kwa o sing na se contender ya middle fielder of the season marabere sign re o tla gore berekela because of hype all Chiefs le wona tshwanetse ba stop go sign player because of hype re sign player o tla fita mo systeming ya coach bra uthi
okay Prati re tla ibua sentle let me bring in Mqomqo welcome to the show how are you
good Oti how are you
I'm okay, man. I'm okay. I'm just glad it was a point, man. But tell me about this game from yesterday, 1-1.
I there's a question that you asked the other guy. The issue of teaching players responsibility.
Yeah.
That is a great question. That's a great question, and I want to tell you why it's a great question. This is what I've noticed with Chiefs players, because we've got a bunch of players that are very new into the setup, and some of them are coming from the what do you call it, the MDC, whatever they call it now. So you can tell that there's no sense of responsibility, and what causes that, OT, it's the fact that Chiefs, first of all, it's a big team. Now, when you get new players coming into a big team, you need to have some form of a structure, whether you've got senior players that are already there that knows the culture of Kaizer, how Kaizer Chiefs needs to achieve whatever they need to achieve. Then these young players are then bringing on into whatever that you're trying to achieve as Kaizer Chiefs. So I have noticed that most of the players, they don't care if any of them make a mistake. It feels as if like it's normal at Kaizer Chiefs. When you compare with Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates, you can pick that up. In the clips of Orlando Pirates, when they are in the dressing room, you can tell that these players are actually serious. If you make a mistake of something or something that is not in up to standard when it comes to the other players, you can tell that they will complain to you and blame you for doing those kind of things. So I've realized that with Kaizer Chiefs, it's like anyone can make a mistake and no one is going to hold them accountable. So it's a very big issue. Look at how they defend OT. It's very, very questionable. When I watched the game where they played against Mamelodi Sundowns, that was a game that was telling a lot, because every time Sundowns had the ball, they looked like they were going to score. And it told me that, in terms of the structure of defense that we have there, we are not doing anything. It seems as if we just put people in positions to say, you are going to play this position, you are going to play this position. But no one seems to be, having that responsibility to say, this is where I need to excel because I'm in the starting lineup. So we have a serious problem, Oti, and I don't think, Oti, we are going to solve this issue right now because it seems as if everyone, they just do as they please.
Can I ask you, Mko, can this be solved by new signings? Is this something that can be solved by new signings? January or transfer window, 100 million, 200 million. Can it be solved by new signings, or is it something inherent in the team?
We need to sign players. I've always seen that. I don't know how we do this now, because it seems as if whoever we bring into Kaizer Chiefs, they can play only one or two seasons and then they're gone. Without having to produce anything for us as Kaizer Chiefs. Look at what happened with Dolly and Kama Billiard. So I don't know if we're making the right signings at this moment, but it tells me that we need to relook at who we want to sign at Kaizer Chiefs and what exactly do we need. I was at some point when I felt like Mbule needs to come to Chiefs and he went to Sundowns. I was so hurt because I felt like that's a Kaizer Chiefs player. All round, you can tell that this player is, when you look at him, you're like, this is one of the Skarangobese types of players. He is very comfortable on the ball. It's not easy to get the ball from him. So I was so disappointed that we could not get him. And there's a lot of players that we tried to get and we couldn't. Look at our striker. Think about it. Think about this. We've got a striker that we signed that is, that are, always missing chances. And then you've got a guy like Mayo, that went to play in this,
Algeria,
not Africa. I think it's not Africa.
Tunisia.
Yes. Yeah. So, and then you ask yourself, is the chief scouts not able to see Uthman? No, man. We need to look here and find players within South Africa that can come and assist Kaizer Chiefs to try and win something. So I have a problem with the way we're signing players right now, because you can tell even now, the guy that comes from Mamelodi Sundowns, that is there now, is going to get frustrated. And you know why? Because, like I said, no one seems to want to take any responsibility there. Anything can happen. Someone can make a mistake, and then it's like, it's okay. Now you can imagine a guy that is used to winning trophies and then he comes and play with guys like this. It's going to be a serious problem.
Just for a couple of seconds there, tell me, do you think that the problem is that we're scouting players based on what they are on paper instead of maybe scouting personalities, maybe scouting, that thing, if I can call it that? Should we be focusing more on that than the player was a good guy at a different team? If that makes sense.
When we signed Usirino, I remember very well, I was on the show. I said, guys, at this time, is Serino one of the best players at Mamelodi Sundowns? Yes or no? He wasn't at that time when we signed him. Actually, he used to come from the bench and play a few minutes, whatever, whenever they needed him to do something. And he wasn't the best when we signed him. So you are right when we are saying we are actually signing names instead of looking at what we are lacking as Kaizer Chiefs to say, okay, no, we can go get that guy to come and cover this for us at Kaizer Chiefs. So the personality thing, it's going to kill us, because you're looking at the guy and then like he's huge. Obviously, it's going to make all the fans excited, but is he going to assist us as Kaizer Chiefs? Seemingly, they are not assisting us. Even can you imagine what is this Zimbabwean guy? Billiard couldn't even help Chiefs. And if you look at it, it's not that Billiard is not a big player. When we signed him, he wasn't the same person that he was before when he was shining at Mamelodi Sundowns. But because it's Karma Billiard, we decided to sign him.
Okay.
So we have a problem. We need to identify exactly what we need.
No, thank you so much. for joining me, guys. Okay, so I just want to say something about Chiefs. Then we'll go into our session where everybody will come in and you'll get a minute to just tell me whatever you want to speak about, or whatever you want to touch on. And I may or may not ask you a question or two, but please, let's try to respect each other. This is what I'm going to say about the Kaizer Chiefs. You know, tactics aside, goal scoring aside, all of that stuff aside, I think one of the biggest problems with Kaizer Chiefs is taking responsibility. I think I'm watching a bunch of players that come out on that pitch, the 11 that plays on the pitch, and that 11 is 11 players that are afraid to be the one that makes a mistake. It almost feels like they're happy when somebody else makes the mistake so the eyes don't go on them. There's nobody who's willing to be on the pitch and say, guys, whether you make a mistake, whether you do whatever, let's play. The only player that I can point to, honestly, that has that thing is Umfundo. Umfundo is young. He doesn't make every cross. He doesn't, but I watched him do something. There was a point in that game where I was screaming. I was sitting here screaming about people coming to support. And in the second half, he ran past Abomart and he went to go pick up the ball. And then he made a run on the other side. And I was like, it's things like that where I feel the Chiefs players, and the reason why I speak about personalities, scouting personalities, not scouting the play, is important. Because the one thing that you don't have at a Sundowns, for example, is that you don't have a countrywide trending when you do something wrong, or countrywide eyes, or countrywide pressure. This is a team that has not been in the Champions League for how long? Well, that has not played consistent Champions League, that wasn't even top 8 last season. But the type of pressure and the eyes and whatever and the DMs and all that, you have to have a hunger for it. You have to have a hunger to do that. You have to be a leader. We need leaders on the pitch. Patrice Motsepe was not a shining star. He was not a guy that was flashy and all of that stuff. But when the pressure was on, he could still be a leader. And we lack those guys. Everybody hides. First half, you try play the ball out from the back. Literally no one comes to collect the ball from Mteto. No one. And you literally watch them run behind people instead of availing yourselves. I think if this Kaizer Chiefs team was braver, or just braver, same results, just braver, I think we'd all be fine. I think if the coach could come out and take it on his chest, if we have a coach that comes out and takes it on his chest, then I'm coaching Kaizer Chiefs, we've lost this game. As in, guys, we'll be better tomorrow, we're going to fix it tomorrow. That's what Nabi was looking like in the beginning. But now, he's starting to play like, he's starting to sound like, you know, a coach that's going through the most. The refs. I need players. Now, think about all of that psychologically. I've just told the whole world week after week that I don't have players. Give us a strike. What happens when I go into the dressing room and I say to Ranga, I need you to go run for me and go score. To Please, I need you to go run for me to go score. What I like about Jose from the stuff we've seen in the change room, and maybe I'm completely off and Unabi is a different way, but what I like about Jose, when you watch them in the dressing room, those players have responsibility. They even Tito is allowed to tell those guys, there's a space over there, make a change. Pagalo. Utito, when Utito is messed up, Utoki comes out and tells him 9-9, good Joe. I feel like in that team, I'm sure they're even afraid to speak when they come off. I'm sure when they're sitting in the change room, there's nobody who can say, guys, Yazini, I want to come in. Let me play. Let me, let's do this. You see it on the pitch. You see all the heads go down. Not one person. We're under pressure. Not one person has voice enough to say, guys, Buyani, even if we have to play a back six for the next 15 minutes just to calm it down, Buyani. How many times? I remember Okune used to come out running, shouting at the defenders. There's no accountability in that team. And I'm afraid that there's no stars you're going to sign. The players that Chiefs is fantasizing about do not exist. They don't exist. You can't find the finished product who's at a small club, who's doing all those things, who will be the perfect personality and the perfect this and the perfect that and the perfect that. It's not going to work. And when you keep looking that way, just as my last thing, if you keep looking at it and thinking to yourself that there's going to be 3 players that are going to be signed and they're going to unlock everything. If you keep looking at it, we're going to carry on. Guys, do you know how many players have been signed by Kaizer Chiefs in the last 6 years? Do you know how many players have come in and out? Now I'm looking at them and I'm saying, Yazdi, Ninabi, management, all you guys, players. I'm full about not having players or not having a plan or refs or whatever. Now I need you guys to make a plan. If it means that all of those players, I think, lastly, all of those players have too much freedom. Way too much freedom. We trust them way too much to think that they're going to. Guys, Rulani's system was a deep system that was structural and disciplined. We don't have disciplined people. And if it means now that you tell those players that, hey, I'm tired of thinking that you're a professional player. I need you to be here at this time, there at this time, here at this time, there at this time. Don't think. Then maybe that's what needs to be done. But something needs to be changed. But anyway. Let me go and bring in other people. You see, I'm seeing a comment here where somebody, I think it's Junior. Junior says, dude, Chiefs doesn't want to be pressured. They need your support only. No. That's the problem. I feel like that's the problem. You walk off the pitch and, it's okay. No, guys, it's okay. Do you know what happens? We've seen what happened at Pirates change room. We see what happens at Sundowns. We know. It's cutthroat. It was cutthroat. I feel like we're hiding these players. We're hiding them. And me, I'll tell you every day, I don't need them to be 10 out of 10s. I don't need them. I just need them to be 7s. And I need you. It's fine if you make a mistake. Own it. Own it. It's fine. Mara, this is bleb thing that we're doing. Untwari is so scared of every single thing that happens in the box. It defends it to they're so scared they're not even talking to each other. Hi, guys. Okay. So I'm going to give you a minute. Welcome. Tell me about whatever you want to address tonight.
Sure, Mr. Ote, ngibulele lapha kule ndaba kaNtwari mara ya. Asiqale ke ish.
Hayi man.
Yes, asiqale ukusibe serious hayi. Molo Mr. Ote ish. Yazi Mr. Ote, I'm gonna speak regarding the Kaizer Chiefs situation. Yes, in order to save time. As the Chiefs, I'm interested in knowing how they trained for that build-up situation that they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm interested in knowing. Like, when session how was the coach conducting the patterns? Mr. Uti, angeke onke amabhola amawudlala build-up, ati keeper, ati centre-back, afunye kumthetho, or afuna Yusuf Mart. Never. Mr. Uti, if you go back to the game against Marumo Galats, we're building up towards the third phase of play using the wing, the flanks. Best full backy, link up nama full backy on our way down the line. We didn't link up from the edge of the box by the D with the central 6, and then after that 10 and 1 to distribute. There's nothing wrong with that. We can do it, but you have to balance. You have to balance, Mr. Oti. You cannot play the same pattern in football. You will become too predictable. Too predictable. Now, if you notice one thing, as soon as Miguel started losing the balls, did you notice the fact that a player test Galaxy, they were pressing him more smarter. They would give him that chance to trap the ball, but they knew that Tuguti just pressing Ngane, he's gonna make a wrong pass. It was that simple because the pattern is the same, and they knew it. It be simple. I'm interested in knowing that you cannot have the same pattern, Mr. Oti. So that was the first thing. And then another thing, and Mr. Oti, I'd actually ask you, I would buy 50 of those tops you have there. Those you see that right top layer, 50 years. If you can show me 5 clips, Mr. Oti, if you can show me 5 clips, the Kaizer Chiefs making 10 passes anywhere on the field.
Don't get my hopes up, Jay, for no reason.
But there's a time that Miguel Ben passed bola on the center, and Mr. Oti, he lost it after one pass. He received the one pass, Nyabala niti one, but Miguel, he loses the ball. I'm like, professional players. No,
Okay.
Mr. Uti. You understand? It's very
Yeah.
consistent, and then you want to build up. You must be careful. The build-up play Ganabi, I love it though. I love it, Mr. Uti. I won't lie. I've seen it in his former team, but it cannot be one pattern. Mela change. And the ball excuse a player. Someone said to you after the Chiefs game that you cannot sign 11 players in one window.
Okay.
You can't keep on making excuses. Who's this? Hunt took us to Hunt
For
almost
time,
got us a
Siso,
star.
yeah.
Yes,
Just finish that point.
Just a quick one. Hunt got us to the final with drunkards. Middentop almost won us the league with drunkards. What excuses are we making now?
Okay, for time, Siso. For time. Let me bring it to Pravusi. Vusi, I'm going to give you a minute. Tell me what you want to speak about tonight.
Oti, my man, we're fixing South African football, fighting no one. Sibeka njengoba ijalo.
Asijiki futhi.
Yeah, Oti man, sorry, ngicela ukubuyela kule ndawo yama signings. You know that, man. At some point, Oti, mina, I blame ourselves, the defense, because if you look at the situation, go to Sundowns, for example, all those players from Sundowns were signed by Sundowns, not defense. Tina Pella, we signed Umteta, do you know that?
Yeah.
We pushed the team to go and sign Umteta. Right now, we are pushing the team to go and sign Police, Aboma. Do the coach need those players? If we're pushing the coach, now we want Pasatine. Yeah, if Pasatine, whoever comes and analyze Kaizer Chiefs, yeah, Pasatine will fit on that left back. Let's go and sign Pasatine. We pressurize our management to go and sign. All those players that we sign, we've been signing players, and those players are not working for us. So let's leave Coach Nabi to finish whatever he wants to start, and then let him sign his own players. Right now, we are fighting for Uzungu, and he went to Amazulu. Yeah, Chiefs should have signed Zungu. Who needs Zungu? Is it the team that...
But can I ask you, Vusi, is management also doing a thing where they're taking pressure off of themselves and accountability off of themselves by saying, "Sisainama player wenu. Tina, we're fans. We sit on the outside. We're emotional. We're 9 years without a trophy. We like what we like. We do." Khona abantu who are paid to go and scout and paid to go fight. Isn't the management also, man, throwing us under the bus by saying, "Hi, but we signed your player. You guys wanted him. Can't we ask them what
I feel like, yeah, they are doing that because remember, Upobi used to sign his own players. And those players, we are blaming Upobi. Why you sign so and so? But at the end of the season, we've got a cup.
Yeah.
We've got something to talk about. But we are always blaming Upobi. So now I think they sit back and say, okay, guys, we'll do whatever you guys need. Remember, we once had a match to Naturena Guti. They're not signing players. And that match, they sat down and they say, let's do whatever the fans want. Now the fans wanted Umteto from Stellenbosch. The team went and bring Umteto. Now the same fans we are saying again, we are criticizing him. That started Sundowns team. I never outing his my fans with Sundowns that hey, go and sign Ronan Williams. It was a surprise to them that we've signed Ronan Williams. We've signed so and so. So if not as supporters we can learn Uguti, let the team sign whoever is needed because they can see a training who is needed. Tina, we just see a game in that Utu Pris missed 2 chances. Now let's go and sign Umakop.
Yeah.
So for what?
For time, Pravusi. Let me bring in Albert. Albert, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, sharp, OT, sharp, my bro.
No, Kakuta. You've got a minute to play or Kena Kokai.
No, I wanna say, bro, only Mr. Motsepe goes on downs. There was one time when he said, Kaizer Motaung role model high. So that's why Sundowns is winning because he took the formula like Kaizer over another Sundowns.
Yeah.
So Kaizer ufa banana ropes, but it's like he's not giving them a formula. Yeah, and at the same time, una leading army. That's why I was not player.
Yeah.
People, they are stingy, those people. Chiefs are don't such a letter, bruh. So the situation is gonna be like this for a long time to come. You see, unless Mr. Motaung, no, these guys but no. Since I follow a formula ya Kaizer, it was a working formula because I know over fire no lina is a formula ya bona. Go on a formula ya thing ya bona. It's not working.
Yeah.
Go back to that formula ya Kaizer. Yeah. That's what I can say, my bro.
No, thank you, bro. Alright, let me go to Barongo, Hosi Barongo, man.
Mr. Mokwena.
How are you?
My brother, I'm good, man.
We can I think? We can I think? The whole family, we can I think?
Wait, nekesanya ko tsena OT, but from who to how far your analysis, my brother, then on kotile, then on happy or no, kino tsena. Wait. OT, if these guys are not listening to this show, and then I don't think like there's anything else like because hence you mentioned Mfundo. Kiri plara tell like about the social media. Showcase they know about this show. You understand? And then here we speak nothing but we speak the facts each and every day. And then I see the insults in a way. You understand? So OT Kahopola Sheiks Mashaba Hakusha under 23. There was a time Molo Salva Mrusak under 23 Misako Bafana, if I'm not mistaken. Bamutima di Plara, the big three, the Mutima di Plara. We take a Hopola Manzoha Pila are in absence of the best. Make the West the best. You understand?
Yeah.
Ntwaya Nabi in his first few weeks ko naturena and then as the answer man's statement as or no 70% or 80% of the players the Chiefs they don't deserve to play there. I mean psychologically you as a player that thing. You understand? We might not have leaders like you mentioned about Patrice Motsepe back then, what Habomuk and all those players. Yes, Raibon and told like there's no leadership. Marawena as a coach, create leadership out of the players that we have at the current moment. You understand? You are buying a Mercedes-Benz W123, and then obviously make the best out of that car. What we be in a condition like we understand? Another thing, OT, to show like Kaizer Chiefs, there's no leadership. And then there's no growth as a player. Like no so somebody like how many seasons has this person been playing for Chiefs? But I give one growth for you. By now, OT, that guy no to like captain. But even like Bobo Miguel, we don't even think Frosler like he can lead the team as a captain. You understand? So there's like problem at Chiefs, it runs deeper, OT. It runs deeper. I think it's about time for Renan Nuso as defense. Rest up a whole lot of the player as like the previous speaker was speaking right now. Rest up a whole lot of the player. Really legend about Dr. Kumar, about teenage data, Bob Farrakhan, Horbat. Because those are the people who like they know the culture.
Okay, for time. Yeah, jumper so kita go kata for now Hosi Barogwa for time. Let me bring in Vuyo, welcome.
Thank you for the opportunity, OT.
We ngena kuphi Vuyo, we ngena kuphi?
It's sad to see you sad, OT, because of izinto zikhulumayo is true each and everything. But the problem is labantu bachelayo bayasizwa na. And the fact of the matter, the players that play for Kaizer Chiefs, they don't have a room to improve as a certain player. Let me make an example. Patrice Obasi wasn't playing for Sundowns. Hugo called Patrice Obasi to national team. He played 90 minutes OT without a problem. You know why? He do extra training by himself. They have people that they do their extra training. Those are the professional players. As a professional player, you have to set up goals. Happy Mashiane has disappointed me. He's one of my favorite players.
Yeah.
They can't 3 coaches or 4 coaches coaching Kaizer Chiefs, failing to select you to play as a left back. There's something wrong with you. Those are the facts, OT. You can't run away, guys.
Yeah.
Why I'm saying so? Because onke lama coach akuna talent abalibonile kuwe. You don't want to improve. Each and every season you want to be in the same player that's come young and promising.
Yeah.
You can't stay in that role forever. You need to improve. You need to mature in your game. Even the other person who was speaking here, he spoke facts about Foster. He dropped actually. He wasn't like this. It wasn't easy to close down Foster because he's using both of his leg. He can cut in with his left, but he's no longer doing that thing. The reason why OT is too comfortable. Kaizer Chiefs players are too comfortable. That's why they don't even have fighting spirit.
Yeah.
The coach himself, I can say also he done something that we call stupid thing. You can't blame players when you arrive to any team.
Yeah.
You take what you have, you encourage what you have, you build what you have. If it's not working, but at least you try your best, because what is the point to criticize all the children? At the end of the day, you are the one who's going to make these children to pass the exam. So there is no way, OT. I'm very disappointed. He was unprofessional when he do those things. That's why I always go for one of our own. I also like Benny McCarthy to coach Kaizer Chiefs. Why? Benny use what he have. He don't criticize. He want players to sweat blood. Each and every player is special. He give everything. He give his respect. That's all OT on my side. Thank you for the opportunity.
No, Will. Thank you.
Disappointed in you.
Hey, Marawa, but it's okay. It's okay. Let me bring in Kulufelo. Kulufelo, welcome to the show. How are you? Man, ke monate man. Kulufelo, onali minute man. Mplelore. Ubonang weekend kai. Which team you wanna speak about?
If I say ke no chiftanyana ke bolela ka Pirates a botse
No stress.
Yeah, like for the first time I think when I go play my coach Pirates like more like I feel gore ga botsana bele gona le ntshongwe ya gore bele aga re ya go gone go startisa di game a ka go pola ga botse bele kwa maragonyana ka game le ya a re dlala le Cape City be re dlala away on that game. So on that game this guy o faketse o sala dlala ka Dlamini le Mbatha mo legare. So first half we were struggling mo game. So yena irang anja bona over strike la first half. Second half azanganya go faka player ngwe be re ntse re leader 1-0 mara re ntse re strike la mo legare. Mara azanya go faka Mbatha. Azanganya go faka Mbatha or anya go faka mang e mongwe le gore o to go na dlala mo legare a thushi or Makaola a gone go dlala mo legare a gone a ntse Dlamini maybe a gone go dlala until Cape City boy go. Okay, vele o to mo vele ka thoma ka question, but then wa tsentho ile gore ke le mo ile ka rena supporter gore ge team like e winner like re no go mola like o kare ntho ngwa le ngwe sha bo bona. But then ge thoma e jiwa go gona go thoma go iba di questions like Joseph vele ke motho ile vele ke coach ile gore ke trust vele, but then ka baka la gore o ntse o be a winner vele everyone na ho motjinje vele on that game re tletse draw ra win mara still ne ke ntse ka mo question re tlo bua re tlo dlala kwa Algeria ne re tlo dlala le CR what ke lebetse nna la
Belouizdad.
Yeah, Belouizdad on that game vele still we really mistake re lo dlala on game obvious wa tse bore vele batho ba go ba tedi ya ke ranta mathomo then on that game at least dlala ka maela ka mo side mo push tso go tope me bontshe mo fuphi on that game vele o bile brave adlala ka mang adlala ka go toka mo afa ka bafana ba banyane ba ithu. Okay, ra win a game everyone na go motse ndebele gore okay I ntongwa le ngwa vele sharp ka Pirates ra dlala sharp cause re win again. So on this game still we o tshepela ile mistake. So ke mo le re thoma go ba exposed ba o thoma go bontsha bafana ba banyane gore ba leka ba sa leka experience bo nkota vele, so ba thoma go ba blame vele. and I get to make a check, I get to the Motaung or I get check more game data of it. I got to move like a game, yeah, you know, CR we start. I
Yeah.
go like a Stellenbosch, I go like a Ahly. I don't think my hope on these 3 games will be
Okay.
a short on target.
For time. Hey. For time, Kulufelo, for time, just to allow others in. Kitlo kena. Marathon so bue man. Ukena kari last minute man Kulufelo man. Let me bring in Ongama guys. I'm coming towards the end of the show. So can we please keep it tight? Ongama, you've got a minute. Where do you want to go with it? Where do you want to go with it? Ongama, can you hear me?
You gave me some few questions that. Yes. I think. Am I cutting?
No. Go ahead.
I think I'm clear on my side. Okay. I think the first decision that we need to take when out here, I think the first decision that we need to take, we need to stop signing rejects. Players that are done playing. Some players are too comfortable because they are there to settle the bag. I would tell you that Pule Modi is above 30 years. He go to Kaizer Chiefs to finish his career. There's a player like Serino just want to come to Kaizer Chiefs. Yeah, on Tanzania, you perfectly see at least I would say maybe 30 to 60% of the players that are in Kaizer Chiefs, they are not players that are coming to Kaizer Chiefs to make something to bring back to the Kaizer Chiefs badge. They come to play 3 games just to honor the badge and say, I played for Kaizer Chiefs, I presented myself for Kaizer Chiefs. Yeah. So if we can stop better of signing players that are done their careers in football, I think that another thing that we can help us and sign players that are willing to take responsibilities. Players have the same mentalities like Abom Fundo Vilakazi that are willing to work for the badge, that are still dreaming of wanting to do more for the badge. That was my input and out here. I don't want to finish the time for other people.
No, thank you. Ngama. Let me go to Khopotso. Are we good? Sharp, Khopotso man. You've got a minute. Tell me fast, man.
All right, jump. First thing in Nagilum concern kayo we don't have first 11 area trustan. And then that one in Girorgi question, how is the training? Coach, how does coach train people? How does he see people there? Because we don't have first, even him, I need confidence of have first 11. You understand? And then now we also have to offer the boys a high confidence by doing what? By create like the role model, because these boys they don't think ahead, my man. Like but they look at the robot. Like when they do this, that's exactly what they're gonna do, and then you understand? So I don't think there's anyone come Kaizer Chiefs and a role model. That's why there's a speaker with them they don't want to show themselves, they don't want to go out of the box. You understand? Bano Gala under Chiefs. They don't even want to impress anyone in the country. They're just playing for Chiefs. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think anyone in Kaizer Chiefs and a role model. A top role model. So there's no way we're gonna win. We'll always want the players, and then Rogrea player, Altanaka player by mentality to Chiefs, and then the player become weak. Rogrea another player that is good. Even Apollo is gonna go to Chiefs. After go Chiefs get the same mentality, and then the player become weak because of mentality to Chiefs. They just under Chiefs. They're not even looking at other big teams, big players. They don't give them those role models. I mean, I feel like in Mfundo Vilakazi, I feel like you can be like Lionel Messi, and then that boy is gonna wanna be like
there's a guy who spoke about the person training alone.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now when you tell the person, or I see you as that person is gonna look at that person's videos, try to do something about that. You understand? So that's when the person is gonna go out. And when the person is going out now, is playing for South Africa, not for Chiefs. Is playing for everyone to see them. You understand? Because now we just like them as Kaizer Chiefs. They're just playing for Kaizer. They don't even care about anything anymore.
No, for time's sake, Khoza, for time's sake, Khoza, I'm gonna jump in. Let me learn Ausentab. Ausentab, kupong kwale on Ausentab.
Abdoti nanpe makatsang, it's only one thing. Nabi ha fihla le ha na re ditapole tseo tse ka bekeng di bodile. Utlile a etsa something ene etsa defend tsa Chiefs di ikutlwe hore Nabi utla ka something ba tlatsa di stadium ba etsa di sold out ba kora di 2 goals before ho felletse kae parafini eo eneng ba ntse ba etsa mollo ka yona ile kae re batla o tseba hore na what went wrong from Eric and from Nabi di first game tsa tse pedi tse tharo ha ine fihla Chiefs o no bona hore ho na le merianteng ho etsa hetse eng ke eng e tsamaileng wrong from strategy sa fitlileng ka sona sela sa nantsa sebedisa hore a make sure hore before ke half timing ke tsamaya ka 3 goals ka poka 2 goals ho felletse kae re batla o tseba hore ke manga team man that thing ha re na ntwe ngwe ngata ka ra ibua maybe ha ka ba re explainela hore from kgwedinyana tsela tsa fitlile kgweding e wa fitlileng ka yona manang ka di game o kgonne jang ho change from the winning tsela tsa go o win before half time hore re tlo ba to this position re fihla jwa mona ke ona fela ha ka ba re araba mo maybe re ka ukwisisa
I know Ausentab before I close I'm going to say something but I also wanted to say this. Look at what the members did, guys. To be a member please head on over to the WhatsApp group. Look at what this was my Christmas gift from the members. I love them. I love these pictures. I love this shirt so much, guys. I love even though it's got other logos here, Mara. Go sharp. Okay. Phew. I want to go back to speaking about Ukosh Nabi and what he's speaking about in media, because it's something that we speak about on the show a lot. What you say outside, what does that mean for the club? What does that mean for everything that everybody looks at? Now, we've spoken about the players. I've just told the country that the players are not good enough to play for me, and I need to go into that change room and motivate the same players to wake up and play. That's number one. But here's the other part. I've now told the country that these players are not good enough. You know what's going to happen when we have a bad result? Yeah, well. Nabi said 70% of these players are not good enough. Yeah, well. And you start seeing, I think you start seeing what everybody's doing at Kaizer Chiefs. There's a big hiding that's happening, right? The players are hiding. If I'm a starter every week, why do I need to do anything more than I need to do? Because my job is secure. Mart, do you think Mart loses sleep? So when Mart is on the pitch, he probably thinks to himself, you know what? I'm not going to do anything special. Because if I do anything special here, everybody's going to look at me and I'm going to be the one who's focused on. Let me just stay in my shell. Let me keep it here. Coach Nabi is now throwing the players under the bus. So now he's saying, no, guys, it's not me. I'm a player. So when the players are ill-performing and the players are not doing what they're meant to do, now all of the attention is going to go where? To the players. So tell me, is that a good thing to do? Let's look at management. Management goes, oh, but we signed your players. Fans, you guys were making noise. They were trending on Facebook. I get it, everybody says we sign on Facebook. They were trending on Facebook. We signed that player to make you happy. How dare you be angry at us? Rather, you hold that bag. Fans, it's your fault. Guys, we are literally blaming people that do not work at Naturena. Some people have never been to Naturena, like myself. I've never been to Naturena. I've never walked in. I don't know where the offices are. I don't know where people sit. I sit here. I don't know what a contract looks like. I don't know what a negotiation looks like. I don't know what they say when they call these teams. But yet, I'm holding the bag. You can't give me the bag. Why are you listening to me? Guys, I think my problem with Kaizer Chiefs is that everybody is pointing at everybody else. The players, fine. The tactics are wrong, coach. Okay, guys, it's lit right now. Can we please sit back and just for the next 10 minutes, just make it boring to calm the game down. That's what I expect from leaders. Coach, you don't have the players. Fine. Hey, we understand. Players are what, and there's no quality and all of that stuff. Okay, coach, here's your 11 guys. Please make a plan. Because Polokwane City, guys, all of you would cry here. If you woke up tomorrow and Polokwane City was your team, all of you would cry. If Coach Pitso Mosimane was your coach and you were looking at that team where it's only Mamelodi and Apolis, they might even lose them now. Mamelodi and Apolis, and then there's Cole Alexander, there's the guy who knocked us out, whose name I will not speak, the guy who gave us the day when we lost. Ukambala, yes, Ukambala. Most of you here would cry. Do you know where they're sitting? They're sitting number 3. You cannot tell me that this squad Chiefs is worse than, is that much far worse than Polokwane City on paper, looking at the people on paper. Is that much far from Iskukune? Is that much further from Abu Royal AM, Abu Ties Galaxy? You're telling me that this team is so bad that Ukosh Nebi, as a coach, who's meant to be a coach, can't put together a plan and say, Nyabambisa for now. Oh, guys, let's make a really nice sandwich so we can sleep full. When that time comes, we'll go buy the sushi. But for now, I just want we need to sleep full. No, Ongama, don't let them hide. Don't let them hide. There is no pressure at Polokwane City. But nobody held a gun to your head and said sign for that team, number 1. Number 2, everybody knows that there's pressure at Kaizer Chiefs. Rather say no to the contract when it comes, right? And number 3, at least for your own pride, play for your own pride on the pitch. Polokwane City doesn't play Mamelodi Sundowns 38 times. You don't play Orlando Pirates 35 times. Sometimes you have to go out and play that game. And rather let it be that team was better than you and you guys went toe-to-toe and shy. Rather it be that you were trying something, you came out, you gave us your full thing and you failed. Do you know why we don't criticize Umfundo that much, especially after that thing? Do you know why we don't criticize Umfundo that much? Everybody in the stadium, everybody that's watching the TV, everybody that's consuming Chiefs looks at Umfundo and says, you know what, Ntwana, u brave. I'm brave, Ntwana. Mawfika ungena, u brave. That's all I want from my Chiefs team. I'm not even asking them to win every game. But when you're watching grown players, fine, there's pressure. But does the pressure mean that all of the years you've been in the PSL, you can't speak to your other defender and say, guys, can we get into position? You can't speak to somebody and call and say, hey, come. Mtetwa's now lost the ball 3 times. He can't, as a person, look at Mart and say, hey, Mart, booyah. Coach can't look at his team and say, guys, it's not working. As in, I'm instituting something here. Management can't look at us and say, hey, guys, player. But you know, we've got a scout that came from Mamelodi Sundowns. He was signed just now, a head scout. We've got a team of people whose sole job for 8 hours a day is to sit back and look at the team, assess the team, assess the players, assess scouting, assess all of that. I'm sorry, but we're going to get backlash. Nah? That's the truth. We're going to get backlash. But we're going to make the right decision, or at least it's going to be a decision that we stand by. That I know that I made that decision. If something happens, Hashem, I will take the blame. Let's also ask, if you are losing right now and the results are the way the results are right now, all of the playing it safe has not worked for 9 years. All of the playing it safe has not worked. You are still hounded when you leave the stadium. The DMs still look the same way. Your notifications still look the same way. So why don't you rather play then? And if you're going to get backlash from playing, because right now there's backlash. Playing it safe is not helping anybody. Let's be honest. In fact, it might even be worse. I did a video a while ago where I spoke about Coach Nabi, and I said, Coach Nabi, hey, you're going to think you're safe, and you're going to think that you're going to throw these players under the bus, and everybody's going to smile at you. There's going to come a time where everything switches, and everybody's going to look at you and put you under pressure. We won. And some of those players with long contracts are just going to sit back and quietly and watch you hang yourself. The only thing I'm going to say now, to finish this off, sorry. Hey, I'm ranting. To finish this off, there's no magic answer. There's no magic coach that's going to come in and magically get everything right. There's no magic player that's going to come in and magically get it right. We're going to need to take responsibility as the team and say, okay, fine, Grand Sharp, this is where we are. Let's forget the fairy tales. Let's stop trying to fix problems like where Mamelodi Sundowns, who are playing in the Club World Cup, who are playing in the CAF Champions League, who are playing versus the best teams in the world. That's why they need to go get the best players. There's no shortcut. You're going to have to do the work. And I fear that the problem with Kaizer Chiefs is that we've been shortcutting for 9 years instead of actually doing the work. And part of the work is to realize that Chiefs is not the top team anymore. We're nowhere near the top three. We're not a big team on the pitch. We're not a big team. So now we have to make sure that every season you claw. You come out and, hey, Yazdin, guys, let's be honest, you're not going to get the perfect team. Only one team in South Africa is going to be the team that can, if they want to go and sign 11 players. Chiefs is not that team. And you know what happens? Instead of management coming out and telling us, yo, guys, this season we're not signing because we feel as though we need to do research properly and get our style of play right. And then when we go into the transfer window, do you know what's going to happen? Because Nabo, they're panicking. Because Nabo, they don't want to take responsibility. They're going to sign 5 random players that make no sense for the team, that make no sense for anything of the future, that don't matter. And they're going to look at us and say, we signed. So I'm saying that, hey, guys, the responsibility is so important. But then also, this is where we are. You're not a top 3 team. You're a top 6, 7 team. Maybe you need to make sure that you don't have 9 out of 10s on the pitch. Can we make sure that we've got 7.5s across the pitch who can play and understand each other? Start there. Let's claw. 6th place, 5th place, 3rd place. Mara, this idea that everything's going to change like this, Hashem. But anyway, hey guys, okay. I'm going to close it. Tomorrow we're going to be back here for the Mamelodi Sundowns game, 7:30. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you to those that gave gives. Pigo, Papa Josi, Ray 19, Ubobza, C State, Sipo F, Fandenom. Thank you guys so much for the gifts on that side. Thank you to everybody that watched. Thank you to the commenters. I know I don't read the comments a lot now here, but they are available in full on YouTube. They actually show up on YouTube. So people are reading what you're saying and they'll be there forever. Those watching on YouTube, thank you for joining me as well. Guys, please support us content creators. I have episode 5 of my podcast that has come out today. So it's on YouTube in full. You can go watch. I'm speaking about, in the podcast, I speak about 3 things. I speak about the state of Kaizer Chiefs and us being honest about each other, about ourselves. I speak about Ministry of Sports funding SAFA, giving them a 5 million advance on the grant. And then I speak about, the last topic was about CAF and how CAF doesn't care for the rest of Africa. There's a North Africa and a Sub-Saharan Africa. They don't care for the rest of us. So there's a bunch of topics that I cover under there. So please support us content creators. Go on over there, watch the videos in full, do all of that stuff. That is how I get paid. I'm not monetized on Facebook, guys. I'm not monetized on Facebook. They're not allowing me to monetize on Facebook or Instagram. So please, the best way you can support outside of contributing directly to the account that I have in my stuff is to go on over to YouTube and watch those videos. If you want to be part of the WhatsApp group where they made me this incredible shirt, the members there, incredible football people. There's a lot of people there. You can head on over to my YouTube, click on subscribe, click on join. In the members area is the link to join the WhatsApp group where we go 24/7 with football. It's guys, I'm not kidding to tell you that it's one of the best football places. If you want to learn, if you want access to me, if you want access to some of the best minds, we are all there. We speak every day. 2 a.m. in the morning, someone will answer you. So please join that site. And guys, it's been incredible. Let's meet again tomorrow, 7:30. Bye, everyone.